Just a quick check that everyone can hear me. If you can hear me, just raise your hand or just send me a reaction in chat. So I'm sure that you're with you. Okay, all right. So I get some reactions. All right. So welcome back, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed the holidays. I didn't get any calls from delivery drivers saying that they want to deliver chicken. So let's do better next year. So I hope everyone had like time to over the holidays to just check on Canva, just see what how good your skills are, just practice a little bit. Did anyone do anything else aside from the assignment? Did anyone do anything that is interesting on Canva? Anybody? Okay, so Abdul, do you want to come up and just talk about your experience, what you designed, how like your experience from using Canva before the training and like trying it after joining the training? Do you mind just bringing you up on stage so you can talk about it? Okay, Godwin, please, are you able to bring up Abdul Hafiz?
Oh, I'll bring it up right now. Yes.
Okay, all right. So while he's coming up, does anyone else want to just share? It will be very, very quick, like 1 or 2 minutes, and then we can get in because we have a lot to cover today.
You
Um,
can speak now. Yes.
okay. Hi, Abdul. Hello. Hi, Abdul. Can you hear me? Can you? Because we can't hear you. Hi, Godwin is up, Abby.
Okay. Yeah, it's up. Maybe we can pick somebody else. When the network is better, I can try.
Okay. I don't think anyone was volunteering in the group. Okay.
Okay.
We'll just move on because we have a lot to cover today, so we don't get delayed with that. All right. So again, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed your holidays. Time to dive back in. We really want to make sure that we start covering some of the more advanced skill in Canva. So now, in the course of this training, you have learned how to use Canva. You understand what all the buttons, all the options do. So now, really, at this point, what we are just going to be covering is what are the extra things, like how do you refine your designs? Because I saw some of the designs. I'm going to be going through most of the designs that way. Sorry, Abdul. We couldn't hear you, so maybe we can later in the course we can come back to your testimonial. So just continue with like focusing on the class. We'll come back to that. All right. Okay, so as I was saying, what we'll be covering now is just like advanced Canva. What are the extra things you can do? How do you make your designs look professional? So I saw all of the designs you sent, and really, like Gordon was saying, I was really impressed. I was proud of everyone. Like I felt really proud of the success like everyone had made. There were some really, really good designs, and we'll be going through all of them basically, except from the ones that came in like after I prepared my slides. So maybe I missed one or two, but most of the designs will be going through them. But I just have to say that everything was really on point. I like the color selections. I really liked how people were able to express themselves with Canva. In fact, let's just go into it. So this was the assignment. The assignment was to design two graphics for your business using at least 8 layers of elements. Use transparency, use a picture frame, use a gradient, use some text, add your logo to it, and then keep it simple, very importantly. And I have to say that a lot of people absolutely smashed this homework. It was really impressive what I saw. This is one of the designs from Ifoma Chuku. So Ifeoma didn't list a color for her business in this particular design. I think she submitted two, but I went with this one because I really like this too. Now, this design is really, really amazing. I like the use of color. The colors blend very well. All of your information fits into the graphic that you designed, and I like how you used like colors that were matching. I like this blue thing happening here with the transparency. I like the way you did a gradient with that color. Now, some of the things we'll be covering going forward in Canva is just how to make it a little bit more professional. Now, this is very, very good. This is a very, very good effort. We just have to, there are some things where the text is too close to the border. So we'll just be touching on all some of those things. I don't expect you to have known all of those ones because they were not things we've covered, but Again, really good work on this design. The next one here is Akune Ifoma Laura, and this is a very, very sweet design too. If you notice, there's on the first design, the one with the red Xmas seal thing. I drew. There's a line there. It's not very visible because for some reason, I used the same red color, and it's just supposed to be the way that those texts are arranged. Like normally, what I would do there, the all of them would be on one line, like the way they would start from the border. So those are some of the things we'll just be covering. But it's really good to see that you already know all of the basics. I like the pictures you used. I like the picture arrangement. I like the template you picked. Everything really comes out really well. And then the pictures match the kind of business that you are doing. So the red color is really popping. I like the gradient on the purple one too. So that's really, really good. Um, then Chinaza, in fact, this was my favorite design from the whole assignment, if I'm being honest. The way the colors from the pictures match the text, the arrangement of the way you stylishly did the we are the best home designers for your home thing is really, in fact, this design is, I don't have much to add to it. It's just a very, very well done design. Really well crafted, well arranged, well thought of. I like the arrangement of the colors and everything. So really, even if you use a template, really picking the correct template is a skill that you have to like learn, and it's showing that you really know what you are doing with the selection of what to use. So well done on that one. And then the color, the use of colors, you selected three colors for your business, and then they were all rhyming colors. So this is really impressive work. Now, for I know some people joined today's class as the first class, so I know there might be a lot of things that you might be seeing here that might look really strange to you. Now we have all of our videos in recorded sessions, so I would let the training facilitators, like the training your training officers in the group, to just repost the videos, because there are some things here that we've gone through. People have been in this class understand what these colors are. So this #134551, it is called a color code. So basically, just a quick recap: all colors have a code, because so you can see like a color is yellow, but how do you tell that it is the exactly the yellow you used last time? You use a color code. So just a real quick refresher on that. If you want to understand what all of those things mean, I'll try and organize like a quick refresh class for people that joined today. But all of our sessions have been recorded, so you can just go back and watch them, and it will be really helpful for you for catching up with what we are doing. But if you came into the class today, as you can see, it's a class that can be very, very helpful for whether you want to become a graphic designer or you want to like learn graphic design for your business. You can already see what people that are in the class are doing really amazing work representing their business and designing things for their business. So we just move forward so we don't run out of time. The next design here is Praise Babalola. And then this design, I really like this, the one with the relationship summit. In fact, it is excellent. A couple of things that could change, maybe the color of the text, the Potter center could be white, a little bit of better arrangement, making the icons smaller, and then just using some effect on the font. That's some of the things we'll be learning today. So we're learning about effects with font and all of that. Now for this second one, again, it's the border. It's the text is too close to this the purple like background. So we're just going to learn how to keep things like so they don't look compact. It makes if you put your text too close to the border, it just makes things look really busy. So again, good work on what you did, but we just have to learn how to improve. Just small, small refinements. That's the difference between a very good design and a design that was made by someone still learning. So those are some of the things we'll hopefully be learning today. The next thing is this design here. I think I might have gotten the name wrong, but I really, really like the one with the car. Now, I wish you had used a different color for the text because it's blending too much into the car and it's not visible. Now, again, what you could have done is use an effect here. The one for the food is just perfect, so there's really not much to go through. I just want to go us to go through everything so everyone sees what your peers are doing and hopefully encourages you to try and do better in your next designs. Now, this particular one, I really wanted to talk about this one with the Rick's Pure Honey design. Now, this design is just excellent. Like the use of color is perfect. The use of like honey elements. That golden thing at the bottom here beside the phone numbers is just perfect. The picture is perfect. The In fact, it's really one of my favorite designs from all of the assignments. There are some things that could be improved on, but I really absolutely am in love with the blend of colors. It's just an excellent use of color. This person understands how to use color very, very well. If nothing, the other design, the text could have been a different color, but this honey one is it's very, very close to perfection. Really, it just needs a little bit of refinement. So, Omolara, well done on this design. The next one here is blessing, and this design I like how minimalist it is. The use of color is really, really good again. It's really, you can see that this person like has like a brand for their business. It's the same color in the two designs. They know how to stay consistent with colors. They use like transparency to make different shades of the same color, which is really showing that you have been following what we have been doing. Um, Another one here is Temitope Olajide, and this one is already another good design. I like the two use of different colors here. I like how you arrange the images. The slanting thing is really well done. And then one thing I would say in this picture, I think there are too many fonts happening here. So I can see like two or three fonts in this picture in the one with the fabrics. So maybe I usually advise people to stick to like two fronts maximum, maybe three, but usually two. So that way all your things just stay consistent. So it's important to stay consistent with color. It's also important to stay consistent with your use of fonts. And font is something we'll be covering either in today's class or tomorrow's class. So skipping ahead, there's Temitope Agombiade, and this design is really, really good. So this is for a catfish business. It's really minimalist. It gives you all of the information without stressing you with design. So this is another really good design. Maybe arranging how the elements on the page are arranged could be better, but otherwise it's a really, really nice design. Now this one by Adeni Giafis. In fact, this design, I don't know. I suspect this thing wasn't made in Canva. When I saw it, I figured this thing might not have been made in Canva. This person might have used another software. Maybe they are an expert graphic designer already. So please, I didn't need your fees. I'll be very interested to see the design file. If you go to your Canva, you see a share button at the top. So please, if you can share the design file to the class group, that would be very, very helpful to help people learn how you did the design because in fact, this is an expert level design. The colors awesome, the font awesome, the image really well done. Everything is just excellent here. I can see some comments that are saying this is really good. Like everyone, when I saw this design, I was like, this is suspect. But if this was really done on Canva, then really at Denija fees, you pursue a career in graphic design because this is really, really good. The information is well put, the placement, everything. So please, if you are present in today's class, we are not doubting you, but it'll be very, very helpful if you can just share the design file so people can just play around with it and learn how you did this. In fact, I myself I'll be interested in learning how to do some of the things here because this is a very, very well done design. So well done on this. Um, this is another one here by Aboyeji Olayinka Oluwatimileyin. This is another really good design. I like the the transparency you did with the image here. Maybe there are too many colors happening in both pictures, but it represents the business well. It's really well done. I like the logo. I like the font. So maybe just reduce the font, reduce the number of images, and then just keep things a little bit more compact. And it would be a very, very good design. But still, very, very nice. Good effort. Everyone really that submitted really did a good job with their submissions. So for me, these were my three best designs. The first one was Chinaza with the "We are the best home interior decoration business." So really well done with that. Second one, like I said, was Adeni Jiafis. Again, please share the design file. We really want to see how you do this. We want to learn from you. And then the third one is Oyerinde Morufat Omolara. Please, if I am butchering your name, it is not deliberate. Forgive me. But these are the three best designs from the submissions that I saw. Best design in terms of my own personal preference. It doesn't really mean that this is the best. In the end, it's your customers that are going to decide how they react to it. But just for my own personal preference, these are the three designs that really stood out to me. So it's not a critique of anyone's design. It's just personally, it's what I prefer. Adara Foundation hopefully would be sending like some kind of say like maybe some Godwin, a bit. So maybe we should be able to reward winners for this assignment, right?
Definitely, we are going to reward them. Please reach out to our community managers, Michael and Juliet, and we'll reach out
Yes.
to you for your reward.
Oh, okay. All right. So please, Adeniji Afiz, Chinaza Eze, sorry, I'm not going to try. Chinaza and Oyerinde Morufat. Please just reach out to our community managers to claim your prize. And so really, basically, well done, everyone. Again, I'm really impressed with all of the work you did. To people that did not submit, please, if you still want to submit, you might not get any prize again, but then at least we will be able to share your design to the class to encourage everyone else. So I'm going to leave the link open and check it from time to time. If you feel like you still want to submit, or if you're joining the class today and then you still want to come back to this assignment, you're very, very welcome to to submit your design. So now moving on into today's content, we will be walking through how to edit images with Canva. This is something we're supposed to do in the last class, but then we kept on running out of time. So we'll be looking at some of the basic image editing tools that are on Canva. So now I have to say, Canva is not like the most proficient image design software, but at least it's a very, very like you can. There are some things that it allows you to where you have an image and then there's a way you want to make it look, or there's a specific style you want to give to it. So Canva allows you to do some of those things, and then we'll be learning how can you do some of these things with the free Canva package. Um, I'm going to be opening my Canva app now because this is a very, very practical class. Um, so one second, let me just get Canva open. So again, like I promised, we're going to be using the free account. Okay, okay. So I'm going to open a design file now. I'm just going to go with Instagram post. Okay, so I'm going to pull up an image here that we're going to be editing. I'm just going to find something like an image of car. So now we're looking for the image of a car to edit in this. Hi, Godwin, can you hear me?
Sorry, go on, come again. What did you say?
I said, can you hear me? I just wanted to be sure you can hear me.
Yes, okay, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Oh, class, please, if at any point you can't hear me, just give me feedback so I can go back and cover what we're supposed to cover. Okay, so today, some of the things we'll be covering is cropping, how to add filters, how to add effects like shadows, duotone, mockups, and how to upscale your designs. So now, currently, I have a file open on Canva that is a picture of a car. Now, so maybe you are trying to design something, and we've learned how to use layering to add like a quick. Let me just zoom this in so it fills the page. How to add like a quick layer on top of of an image, so you can add like a text on it. Now, another way to do that is to use something like a kind of like a filter. So to use filters on on Canva, just make sure you are selecting the image. So once you click on the image and it is highlighted, you just go to filters. So once you come to filter, it's really like every kind of app you've used is like the same way your Snapchat works or any other app. It just brings up all the filters that are available to you, and then you can just select one. So you can go for something like this. So you just really select anyone that fits what you want. So these are the options that filter has. There's a lot of them. So you can, depending on what you want to achieve with Canva, you can do anything. So this is one that gives you black and white. There's color pop. Now this is one that I always use because it really allows you to do some really funky things. So maybe for example, your business color is like purple, for example, or maybe it's green. You can come and select something like this, and then you don't have to add any of those like put like a layer on it before you add your text. This is something you can just use, add like a black layer on top of it. Let me do something with it. So you select something like this. So now that you made it like a green color, you can just come select elements. Sorry, and just cover it, reduce the transparency, and you're really good to go. Now the difference between doing it like this, and doing it the other way is that it just adds an effect when an image has plenty colors, it kind of it clashes with your text. But if you reduce it down to one color, it just allows you manage it very well. So now this, you are not seeing like the color of the tree, for example, would have been green, would have been seeing orange in the car, would have been seeing different colors that would be like trying to show in place of what we have. But if you have like one color that has taken over everything, you can just have something like this and then just add your text on it and you are good to go basically. So that's an example of how to use filters in Canva. Filters can be used on images. Basically, images you can use it on videos too, but mostly if you're using it on images, you just really like to get like the desired effect you want on any image. The next thing we'll be covering is effects. Now, effects in images. Let me just undo everything that I have here. So we have the color bar. So now I'll go to effects. Now in effect, there are some really interesting things you can do. And please, if you are with me, if you are just send me a message in class if you are following this. If you need me to go back and show how to do filters again, for example, just send me a message. If you are still following, just let me know if there's something you want me to cover again. Please just let me know. So filter is using the duotone. So now at the bottom here, you can see shadows, duotone, blur, autofocus, and face retouch. Now let's cover duotone. Duotone is really another way to get like stronger filters. So now we said that in the last example, the filters there were like really not as deep, but duotone really changes the color totally. So you can see at the bottom here, you can see some of the really nice effects I have. So there's something like this. So it really depends on what you want to do. And again, if you click on any of the filter, you can still come and do something like a gradient here. So you see there are two colors here. You can select like a stronger color for this, and then this could be like a different color. So like that, you have like a gradient going on without the extra, like having an extra layer of a rectangle that is blocking your text. So duotone is something I really use all the time because it's really just like speeds up your design instead of having to put something there that will be changing color all the time. So that's duotone. Let me see. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, so another thing that you can do with effects is the shadow effect. Now, the shadow effect is a very, very important effect that you have to learn as a graphic designer. Now, what is a shadow? If in a normal natural setting, like as a human being, you are looking like you walk around every day. One thing that is always walking around with you is shadow. So your shadow is really It's something that is always there with you. It's something that is always like following you. So if you design something and so maybe there's a picture of a person and there isn't a shadow in that picture, you would notice that it just looks unnatural. Let me show you an example of that now. So this is a picture. One of them has a shadow and one of them does not have a shadow. So usually, I always advise people if you are using a picture of a person in an image and then you are taking out the background, please use a shadow. The shadow just makes it like look more natural. It gives you this 3D effect. Now, if you look at the one with the shadow and the one without the one with the shadow looks like the person is actually there in front of that background. Even though we all know that in this image we have removed the background and then we put the picture of this person there, but because of the shadow it's not like you will not really tell. Like if I added some a few more things to this background, I can convince you that this person was actually standing in front of this background because of the shadow. So please, just something to note: if you are going to be doing like a picture of a person and you are cropping out the background, you should just apply a shadow to it. It just makes it look more realistic and just look better. So now, how do you use shadows in Canva? I'm going to be going back to Canva. Sorry. So I'm going to find an image of a person that I'll be using to illustrate this. So hopefully I can get the shadow effect with this. Okay. So when you want to get the shadow effect on any image, all you just have to do is once you have the image on the screen, again with Canva, it's really selecting something, then going to the bottom to pick out whatever it is you want to do. So once you select the picture of the person and the person it is highlighted, you just come to effects and then you go to shadows. So when you click on shadows, there are different options. The glow one adds like a glow around them. So now you can see that there's like a small glow around. Let me increase it so you can I'm going to increase the intensity so you can see it very well. So now this is an example of a shadow. It's really this shadow allows you to like add like a little bit of glow around the person. There are other options to pick from. Let's just go through some of the options there. There's drop shadow. Now drop shadow is the one where it's about perspective. So if you use a drop shadow for one image, in any other image that you're going to be using, you're going to make sure that the drop shadow is facing the same way. Now what do I mean by that? You can adjust where the drop shadow is facing. The drop shadow is really like say the sun is coming from the sky and then it is hitting you and then your shadow is dropping on the floor. That's what they mean by a drop shadow. So it's really important to make sure that you are managing where the drop shadow is facing. Is everyone following? If you are following me, just send me a small reaction so I know that I'm not talking to myself, that you're understanding what I am saying. Okay, all right. So a drop shadow, if you do like web design or you do like UI UX, or maybe you do CSS or maybe you use Figma, you should be able to you will know what a drop shadow is. It's something you use in design all the time. It just adds depth to your picture. Now I'm using a picture of a graphic here, but again, to the design that we showed here, this is what a drop shadow can do to your image. It just makes it look more natural. It makes it look 3D. I hope you understand what I mean by looking 3D. This one with no shadow looks kind of flat, but the one with the drop shadow has this depth effect, which is what we mean when we say 3D. So it has like a third dimension to it, like it is lifted from the. So again, shadow is a very very important effect to learn how to use. Let's go again to see some of the other ones here. So there's the outline. The outline is the same thing as the glow, but it's just a little bit more subtle. So it's not as strong as the glow. You can also still adjust it. The outline just puts like a line around the person basically. So now there are very very interesting ways to use this. So if for example, let's change the background color here to another color. So I'm just going to change it to like red for example. And now I am going to change this. the shadow here. Sorry, 1 second. Let me get that. So you can do something like this, where you have like a white just like a white circle around a person. So this could be a real picture of a person, and so maybe you have like a design where there's an image at the back, or maybe like a background, or maybe you cut like there are so many people on the you cut like pictures of plenty people. You can use something like this to just differentiate, add like a border to each person's picture, and it really always looks good. I'm going to design something and share it on the group later to show you how you can use the this kind of effect to differentiate between like different elements in a page. Um, so let's go back to it and see some of the other options. There's the curved one. The curved one, I don't really use this one because it's really unless you have like a very very particular use case where you absolutely need something like this. I don't really use the drop shadow. Now the angled one is a very interesting one where it kind of blends it. You can find some use cases for this where maybe you want to add like so maybe like if you're designing a picture of like different speakers, you can use this to like have like a background for them. So that's really it depends on what you are designing. And then the last one is the backdrop. It's really the same thing as the drop shadow. So those are some of the effects of that you can use with Canva. So we've covered duotone, we've covered shadows. Now we're going to look at mockups. Now mockups is a very very interesting thing in Canva where you can use Canva to design like product pictures. Now for if you're an entrepreneur, this is really important for you. Hopefully the kind of product that you are dealing in is on Canva. So mockups allows you create things like let me open an example of a mockup picture that I did. Um, so this is an example of a mock-up. So I designed this image here of the lady with the backdrop and then added the text and then we did a mock-up. So let's say for example, you sell like maybe like shea butter or something. You can use Canva to design like a package. Please take don't tune again. Okay, duotone. Okay, all right. So Osamui, I'll come back to duotone. Um, so as I was saying with the mock-up, you can use Canva to design like a product picture for your business. Now I use the like a container of like a cream container here, but there are different things that we're going to be looking at. So there's a picture of a laptop, you can use like a phone or something. So maybe for example you have like an app where people can order food from you, or maybe you have like you want to advertise your Instagram page. You can take a screenshot of your Instagram page and then put it on a phone or on a laptop or something. So you can just tell people like we have a website, we are on Instagram, we are on WhatsApp. We're going to walk through all of that. I just want to give you an idea of what you can do with mockup. Um, so someone wanted us to go through duotone again. So let's just quickly do that. Now duotone is really a kind of it's an example of a filter, but the difference is that it just has stronger like effect on the picture you have. So we've looked at a couple of different filters here. What duotone allows you to do is, and let me just show you again. Is you click on the image, you click on effects, and then you click on duotone. Now, if you look at the bottom here, so maybe for example, there's an image you have, and then you want to change the color of the person. So an example of something I use duotone for personally is so when I'm designing graphics for like an African client, like someone that their business is based in Nigeria, for example. I don't want to. I always try to use like pictures of like dark skinned people. I don't want. So you see some designs and then you're advertising to people in Africa, and then you're using pictures of white people. It just always looks weird to me. Like it doesn't relate. So for example, this lady now here does not look very African. She looks maybe Asian or something. So with duotone, you can come and change her skin color, for example, like just like a darker shade of skin, for example, to just like represent. So maybe you are advertising for like different skin colors, for example. So this could be something where you can let me duplicate this picture, for example. So let's say you're advertising your whatever it could be, whatever, for example, and then you can just come to Duotone, use it, and have like different colors of the same picture. So this is one here, this is another one, and this is a third one. So with duotone, you've changed really the effect. And it doesn't just work on effect, it works on pictures too. Let me see if I have anything uploaded here that I can show you. Okay, so let's use our favorite hand fan. Let me just change the color. Now, so this is our favorite hand fan. We can use duotone to like change its color at any time. So let's go back to effects here. So effect duotone, and so you see, if you have a purple like hand fan, for example, you can have like a purple one. There's a red one. There's a blue one, orange. So really, all of that. So duotone can be helpful for you if like, so maybe you do a product and then you have different pictures. You can use duotone to like make it represent like closer to what you are trying to sell. So maybe you have like a dress that comes in different colors. Duotone can be very helpful in like giving you different colors of it. So Wasamu, do you understand how to use Duotone now? All right. Okay. So that's great. So back to mockups, for example. Um, so I'm just going to show how to use mockups. So I'm going to be using this picture here for example. So I'm just going to download it. Hopefully we all know how to download already. So I'm not going to walk through how to download. I'm just going to download the first picture so we can upload it again and use it in a mockup. So if you want to so if you want to do a mockup on Canva, the first thing you have to do is to design the picture that will be there. So like we saw here, I have designed this picture here. This is what we use for this mockup. So you design the picture that you want to use as a mockup. So it could be like a screenshot of your phone. So let me just do, say for example, another thing that we want to do is we want to add this picture, this image that we see here. So can everyone still see my screen? Oh, sorry. I think I took a screenshot and I was I was taking off the call.
No,
So
yes,
just give me. I'm joining back now. So just give me a second. I'm trying to join back on my phone so I can show you how to do mockups. At this point, if you have any question, you can ask me about the filters, for example. If you have anything that you don't understand there while I try to join back. Okay. I'm coming back in now.
Recording in progress.
Okay. I'm sharing my screen now. Okay. Okay. Can we see my screen now?
yes, you can see your screen.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. So I have now downloaded this picture. We'll be using it in the design file. I just want to show you how to do mockup with designs. So to do a mockup, you go to a blank page and then you select. Sorry. Okay. So you go to a blank page and then you come to elements. So once you click on elements, you already know how to use the elements page. It shows you pictures, photos, videos, charts, frames, grids, and then you just scroll all the way to mockups, and then you select it. So, say for example, you design t-shirts, for example, and then you have like some really funky designs on your t-shirts. So we can do something like this. I'm going to select this picture of this t-shirt, and I have put it on my page now. So this is an example of a mock-up that you can do. So this is really, it could be, this is like a business idea actually. So maybe you have a passion for designing your own like brand t-shirts, and you don't want to have inventory. Like you don't want to spend money on buying t-shirts and printing it. You can do something like this where you design the picture on Canva. You can just upload it. One second, let me upload from my device. So I don't think that image, but let's use our favorite hand fan again. Anyway, so all you just have to do, like it's like a normal picture, you just drag it and then you drop it on the image on the frame. So now just give it some time and then it's just going to come up. So now this is an example of how to do a mock-up, a basic mock-up with Canva. So you really could, this image could be anything. So you might have designed your brand kind of t-shirts. You've done all of the things with like you can take out the background so you don't have to have all of this things going on. In fact, let me use a picture without a background just to show you that that's something you can do. Um, Again, upload. So you can just put this here. So now this is a picture that doesn't have a background and it would just sit there. So this could be you could be designing t-shirts for your brand, or maybe you run like a t-shirt company. All you just have to do now is just find someone that will print for you, and this is a business that is happening already. So this t-shirt is only one example of mock-ups you can do. There are other things you can do. Let's see what other kind of mock-ups is available to you. You get to the elements page, you scroll down. So there are smart. There's the one for smartphone, there's the one for like a wall art. So for example, you sell like wall paintings, for example, you can do something like that. Um, let's see what could be interesting here. So basically, there are really a lot of options. There are tote bags, there are frames. I'm just trying to see something that the kind of business that I have seen that someone does, something that would work for that. Okay, right. Okay, so really, I'm trying to find an example here, but I think we get the concept of how to design like a mock-up basically. It's selecting a mock-up design, finding the one that works for you. So this is an example of a mug, for example. So maybe you want to promote your brand. So maybe like as an end of Christmas gift, you want to give your buyers like maybe you're sharing out free mugs to them, like as a kind of thank you. So instead of like having to do one before you show them. You could just come here, add like a picture of whatever you want. It could be your business logo, it could be whatever. You just put it here and then you post it on your Instagram page. Like we are giving out mugs to our clients. Thank you for your patronage throughout the year. So it's really another way you can do something. So really, it's really you can have fun with it. There are so many kind of designs. Please, does anyone not clear on the concept of how to do mock-ups? Is there anything you're not clear on how to do, please? You can just let me know in the chat box, like, I don't understand how you did something or anything like that. Okay, so since I'm not seeing any, okay, try more examples. So somebody wants us to try more examples. Okay, sure, let me can do that. So again, for mock-ups, you go here, for example. So let's see a throw pillow, for example. So I am going to do this throw pillow. Let me download this picture first because I really like it. So once again, I'm going to download this picture so we can use it in our design file. So just to show you that it doesn't have to be only pictures that you already had before. You can design something on Canva and still use it as a mockup, for example. So now I have downloaded that picture. Let me just be sure it's downloaded this time. Okay. So now we just have to, we can come here and go to uploads, come to upload here, upload the file from our device. Okay, so this is it here. So once it uploads, you can just drag and drop it the same way we have been doing with every kind of image, and then it will just be on our page. Sorry, I don't think I clicked it. Okay, so again, drag and drop on top of the frame, and then just wait a minute, it would come up there. Now, the good thing about using mockups is that it's like it bends the picture. So, like you see this picture of this what do I call it? This throw pillow. You see that it has like some parts that are like folded, some of those things. Now, the good thing about mockups is that it would make it fit exactly into whatever you want. So like if there's like some parts that are bent, some parts that have like folds on it, it would adjust whatever image that you uploaded to fit into the item, the mockup that you are using. So it could be now this is actually a very really good picture. Maybe I'm going to do this and start selling these throw pillows. I hope you will buy the throw pillow from me. Hopefully. So let me do another one here, for example. So let's say you have like you want to like for some reason you have a website for your business, and then you want to let people know that they can reach you on like your mobile app or like through your website. You can select something like a phone. Let me see a picture of a phone in like someone's hand. Okay, so this is a smartphone. Okay, so now this is an example of how you can use a mockup. And I'm going to do like a design here. For example, let me upload something here. Okay, so let's do this design that we have here already. Oh, we already have this. So you could do something like this where you start with you could start with the mockup, and then you could even add like a shadow. Can you add shadows to this? I don't think so. Okay, so you can add shadow to a mockup, but you can now add like text to it where you say so you can say something like we are social, or maybe we are on Instagram. 1 second, I'm trying to. So with this, let me just adjust this. Please pardon me. Now make this a little bit bold. So really, you can already see that there you can already do like some really interesting things with. Can we have pictures on top or on the mockup? Somebody, please, you can explain what your question a little bit better so I can understand what you're saying. But back to what I was saying, so you can use mockups to really, you don't have to only just use it like add the picture and run and to just like only have the image. You can add text on it. You really can use it to like scale up your design in any way you want it to be. So you can already imagine some of the things you can do with this. So maybe you really it's the possibilities are endless with mockups as long as you find something that works for the kind of business that you're doing or the kind of design that you are doing. So maybe you even want to like advertise yourself, like maybe you are some kind of you are maybe like a food vendor or something. You can do something like, let's find a mock-up that works for like a food vendor, because I know there were a couple of food vendors in the assignments that I got. So let's see, what could we use for a food vendor, for example. In fact, it doesn't even, you can do something like, you can pretend that you're really, really big now. You can do something. So this is like this billboard here, for example. So you can have fun with it and just put like, you can design like a big banner of yourself, like you're like a really big business, and then you can just put your logo here. Let me just put something here so you see what it's going to look like. Where's our free air? So this is a way you could use mockups to like just really. So if you are lacking, like, so maybe sometimes you are in your social media, for example, you don't have content to post. You can just come and do something really easy like this, and then just put it up there, and then that's that day's post, and you're moving on. So if you're ever having like days where you're not feeling as motivated to maybe like do create like major content, you can do easy things like this, and then just like, it's just like a filler content for that day, and then you just move on. So to Osamuyi's question, can we have pictures on top or under mockups? Some reason we use mockup, can we use other elements with it? So if I understand what you mean, can we have images under a mockup? So yes, we can have an image under a mockup. So for example, I am going to use this one, and let me try and upload an image under this. So that's a very interesting question. Let's see if we can actually have an image. So yes, so all you just have to do is, this is an image on top of it, so anything works. To take it to the back, we already know how to do that with our layers and positions. So I can just send it to back. So see there, everything still fits. Now this is not a good use of colors and contrast, but we see that we can have images on top and under mockups. So does that answer your question, Osamui? Okay. Does anyone else have questions about mockups? Okay, no more questions. So, Gordon, how long do I still have?
Hi, Godwin. You have about 30 minutes.
Okay, about 30 minutes. All right. Okay. So we can now see how we can use mockups to do really interesting things. This is an example of one that I designed. Actually, this was a design for someone. All I did here was change the name, but we can do really interesting things like this. So again, it was Samuel's question. This was actually like an answer to your question, where you can have like elements behind a mockup or in front of it. So we have like a picture. This is the picture that we used to make the mock-up, and then I did another design behind it, just to like kind of create this whole like background. So this is like going to be like a product launch kind of picture. Um, so basically, that's how you can use mock-ups to like elevate your design if you want to. In case you have question, okay, that's Juliet. If you want to like if you want to, so let me see. Can we see this container under the mockup section on Canva? Okay. So Juliet is asking. Oh, sorry, Ifeoma is asking if we can see this particular container under the mockup. Now the thing is, I don't know how I found this one. I'm going to go back and try and find it again. But wish me luck, Sha. Let's see if we can find it again, because it was something I was playing with that day. Mm, let me see. Okay, so I'm trying to find this. Okay, packaging. Yes, yes. So if you go to packaging, you will find, I'm sure it's here somewhere. I just need to come down and look for it. So I think this is it here. So this is it here, for example. So you let's do something and see if I think this page is too busy. And so I'm going to open a new page and I'm going to paste it here. Okay. So uploads. So I'm just trying to put something on it. So let's see how it looks like here. Right. So looks this is why but depending on the size of your image and the dimensions, it will just really do its best to like fit it in. So you see the way it looks curved and all of that. So normally this thing with like Photoshop is something that you would really like take so much time to curve the image, but with Canva you just slap it there and then how do we do so that it wraps the whole container? Okay, so to get it to wrap the whole container, the problem with this image is that you don't have to do anything specially to make it wrap the whole container. You just have to use an image that is long enough to wrap the whole container. Now, if you see this image that I used there, if you look at the dimensions of it, you see that it's a rectangle. So it's long enough to wrap around the picture. So why it is not wrapping around is because the picture that I uploaded this time is a square and it is not long enough to wrap around. So that's the only thing that you just have to be mindful of. So depending on the mock-up that you are using, you just have to plan ahead of your design. So like you are I'm trying to do like a t-shirt or something. If you're doing like a t-shirt, you don't need like something that is too long. You just need like a small square, for example. If you're trying to do like a big something big like a banner, like the banner that we did here, for example. So now you see that this one did not also fill the page because it's not the dimension that we need. So you just have to think ahead of what am I trying to design and then design something that is going to fit it. So now for this one, for example, I'd have used an image that is long, like a portrait kind of image, and it would have covered the whole thing, for example. So it's just really something to keep in mind. So thank you for that question. It was very helpful to know that you have to plan ahead with what you are designing. So any questions? Are there any questions? I want to see questions from people that joined in today. Please, if you joined in today, I just want to just let me know if you understand. If you don't understand, let me know. I can go back through anything. Okay, Gordon, can we have our poll, like the poll for today's class, so we can get a sense of what how people are using Canva and what if there are people that are still struggling with it. Godwin, can everyone still hear me?
I can hear you going, I'm on it.
Okay, okay, all right, thank you. Okay, so while it's coming up, we can look at some other okay, so the poll is up now. So the poll option is I am able to implement all I've been taught in the graphic design class, actually in the graphic design class so far. So all of the things that we've learned, so from layering um to gradient to transparency, if you have been able to implement all of those things, like you are not struggling with those things anymore, just help me vote. So if it's a yes, give me a yes. If it's a not really, or so maybe you try to do it, but then it's a struggle sometimes, just let me know so we can see how far we have to go back if we have to go back. And if you absolutely cannot do it. So this is for people that have been attending the classes before. If today is your first time, you can skip this, you can skip the poll and hopefully we'll bring it up and next time you're able to give us a better answer. Okay, so there's a question in the chat. It says, um, I see designs where the images sit well, but when I try, it doesn't look the same, even when I use the frame feature. Is it they're using another editing app? So the thing with frame is that you might sometimes, in fact, let me just show you what I mean. So frame and mockup is really the same thing. It's really like planning ahead for what you're trying to design. But for the meantime, let's just give like a few more seconds so we answer the poll so we can close it and I can show you how to make sure that your designs are fitting into whatever whatever what do they call it, whatever frame you have. So Godwin, do we have a good percentage of the class that has answered?
Yes, I'll be sharing the result now.
Okay, thank you. All right. So wow, 45% of the class say they're able to implement what they have learned, and 55% of the class says not really. Okay, so people are implementing but struggling. So maybe what we would do is maybe next week's class, because I want us to cover fonts tomorrow. So for next week's class, we would do like a small review so that we'll spend a little bit of time just going through some of the things that we have learned. So it will just we can just hammer it in and people and anyone that is still struggling can catch up. Because for me it's really important that even if we don't cover all of the content in the class, I want to do like whatever one that you know how to do, I want you to be a pro with it. So let it just be that anyone that you will learn. So maybe you are a transparency pro, or maybe you know how to use gradients very well. So thank you very much for the feedback. We would be like we'll just plan like a class where we can just go back and then just relearn some of the things that we have gone past so that it's easier for you to implement. So Godwin, thank you. You can close the poll now. Okay, so back to Ifeoma's question around how to use frames to fit images. Okay, so I'm going to select a frame here now and see how we can. Okay, so I select a frame, for example. I'm going to make it half page and then bend it. So this is an example of how you might want to use your frame. Right. Okay, so this is the frame now, for example. Now, one thing that I have done here is if you zoom out, you would see that this frame, all of the frame is not showing on this page. So it is something you're going to struggle with. So as much as possible, just make sure that instead of having a big frame like this where you cut half of it outside of the page, it's better to just have like a smaller frame and then just fit it into like this. So this is just like the first step to addressing your frame not fitting, because the frame is just going the image that you're going to put on top of it is going to take the whole of the frame. So all of the parts of the frame that are outside of this our box is not going to be showing up. So that's just something to oops, sorry, I think I got signed out again. So I'm going to try and share my screen again. I think my screen sharing ended. Okay, so back to what we were saying. So first thing, always make sure that they are not like too much of the frame is not like bleeding outside of your box. So that's the first step. So that's the first step. So let me just see. So I'm just gonna, I think I said the whole frame should be in view. Okay, so what I mean by that is so I when I started this design, I did a big frame like this. So I wanted to just to replicate the kind of challenges you might be facing, because if you have like a full frame like that is on the page, so like a full frame that is just straight and it's all on the page. So something like this, if you have something like this, for example, it's very easy to put any picture on it. So I imagine that where you face challenges is where, for example, your frame is like half screen and it is maybe a little bit slanted and you try to put something on it. So let me just try and upload a picture on it, for example. So this. So now I imagine this is like some of the challenges you might be facing where this you want to show all of the plates in this photo. So what you can do first of all is you can why you are getting this challenge is because of this frame is too big. So first thing, maybe you might select a frame that is like a little bit like a different shape, but you can come here and then just reduce the size of the frame. So now you see that it's fitting a little bit in, and then reduce the slant. So now this is a better look. Now another thing you can do when you're using frames is you can double tap the picture. When you double tap it, you will see that you can shift the image around. So it doesn't have to be the way it sat on the frame. You can shift it, adjust it to be how you want it. So now this image has fit into the frame that we have. So if I'm does this like anything I do, did it help answer your question? Because I'm trying to understand the challenge you are facing. Okay, can you can you God please can you bring her up on stage so she can explain her question, because I imagine this is a challenge plenty people face with frames. So please you can bring Ifoma Akune up to the stage so she can explain the question.
She has the mic.
Okay.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Hi Ifoma, good afternoon. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Yeah, sir, thank you. But this is not what I'm asking. Like, this still sits like it still looks a certain kind of shape. I mean, like the
Okay.
designs as I see, and it doesn't give a certain type of shape. It just looks fitted into into the box. I guess maybe I will just send some of those designs on the group chat so you can see what I mean. And then I will send you the one that
Yeah,
I did, and it
perfect.
doesn't look the same.
Okay, all right. So just if you can just send examples of what you are talking about, so
Okay,
we can
sir.
just yeah after the class. Yeah,
All right, sir. Thank you, sir.
thank you. All right. Does anyone else have any question? Okay, is Abdul still on the call so we can bring Abdul to talk about his experiences with designing things? So this is really anybody's chance. If there's something you want to talk about, something you struggled with, you can come up on stage. Buddy, can you please bring Abdul up again so we can have a chance to talk about some of the things he designed?
She has the mic.
Okay. So Abdul, we can hear you. I think your mic is muted now. If you can unmute. Okay, so we cannot hear Abdul. Okay, Abdul, we cannot hear you anyway. So buddy, maybe you can just take him down again. All right. So the last thing I wanted us to cover is image upscaling. Now, Canva has like if you use the paid version of Canva, it has like an image upscaling this thing where you can just like improve the quality of picture. So now something that you might have noticed is when you download your image on Canva, sometimes it doesn't look very sharp, right? It looks like a little bit because of you're using the free tier of Canva. So let me try and download an image here, for example. Sorry. So when you're downloading an image here, you would see the option to increase the size of the image. So normally you're supposed to drag this place that says size. You're supposed to drag it like to the right so that you get the best quality. But because we are on the free plan, it will only allow us to download this exact like resolution. Now that is why sometimes you download something and then it's not very clear. So what we are going to do is I'm going to show you an alternative where if you download your picture on Canva and it is not looking very good, there are websites you can go and upload them, and then with the use of AI, it will just upscale it and then give you the best quality. So an example is of those of its website like that, and that is our today's graphic design tool of the week is upscale.media. Now, what does upscale.media do? If you have an image that so maybe there's an usually when you upload a picture on Canva, if you design something that is just text, Canva will give you like a good enough resolution. But there's a picture on it. They purposely do it where they make like your picture not look very very good. So if you go to upscale.media and you upload your picture, in most cases it doesn't work all the time, but in most cases it would improve the quality of your picture. So what I'm going to do now to show you an example is I'm going to upload this picture that we designed here. Okay, let me just download some of the mockups that we have. So this picture, I'm going to download this picture here. I'm going to send you one with Canva and then one that was upscaled with upscaled on media. I'm going to upload it on the WhatsApp so you can see the difference with two of them. And also, if you share it through WhatsApp, there's also WhatsApp compression that kind of reduces the quality of images. So it's another way to like sidestep that. So let me just add a text here that says with oops. So I'm going to add a text here so we can differentiate with the one that came from Canva and the one that came from upscale.ai. So from Canva. Okay, so I'm going to download this now. Okay. Okay, now that has saved. I'm going to remove this thing. So the next one will be from upscale. So the website is upscale.media. Let me go back to it. So that's the URL. So all you have to do when you're using this website, you just come to the website, click on upload image, then you select the picture from your. Oops, I don't think I downloaded this. Sorry, I didn't download this one. So I'm downloading this image again without the from Canva text. So just to show you the difference between when you upscale a picture and when you don't upscale it. Basically, you will see the difference in the quality when you zoom in. So it helps is when you are sharing your image. So maybe for example, if you download an image from Canva and you upload it to Instagram, by the time it goes through the WhatsApp, the compression on Instagram, it might not look as great as when you upscale it. So something I always advise people, if you want to get the best quality image, once you download your content, just upload it to upscale.ai, re-download it before you upload it to wherever you want to use it so you can get the best quality. Okay, so that's saved. So I'm going to come here, select this photo. So what you just have to do is once you upload it, you just give it a little bit of time to work. It usually doesn't take so much time. Um, so now it's processing. And once it processes, it will even give you like a preview of what it looks like before and then after upscaling. So these are the different options upscale to. So you can really pick. You can pick the first one. You can just pick the first one and then click on download images here. Oops, sorry. Sorry, I quickly clicked on something. So I'm re-uploading it again. Ah, crap. all images with tractors. Sorry. Okay. So click on download. All right, so that has downloaded. I'm going to share both images on WhatsApp. This particular phone is not connected to the WhatsApp. So at the end of the class, I'm going to share this image so you can just compare two of them. One of them is going to have the text from Canva, and the other one is going to have that is not going to have that text that says from Canva. So there's a question here that says, does this apply to file as well? So if I'm like, what do you mean by file? Like, what kind of file are you talking about? Okay, while we wait, I think Abdul is back. Godwin, can we try one last time with Abdul to see if we can get him on stage? Hi, Godwin.
He's speaking, but we can't hear him.
Oh. Hi, Abdul. Can you hear me? Because we cannot hear you. All right. I don't think Abdul is not working out today. Maybe another time. But does anyone else want to come up and tell us about some of the things they designed over the holidays? If we cannot hear from Abdul, okay, nobody. All right. So I don't know why you're not hearing me from your end, from that end. I'm sorry, it's not just me. I think no one. I think is anyone hearing Abdul?
I can't hear him.
So we can hear him. All right. So our time is fast spent. I wanted us to cover to start like a new concept, like a new topic, typography. So typography is like some of the things I commented on with your designs around how you use text, what kind of text you use, how to make sure that your texts are fitting into the page very well, like really how to like give your brand like a language with the kind of text you use. So that's something we're going to be covering today. It's a very very important topic, and I look forward to working with us tomorrow to like learn how we can choose a font for our business. What are the different font effects that Canva has? How do we use them? How do we elevate our designs with some of these font effects? With that, I think we're going to bring today's class to a close. If there's any question, I think we still have a little bit of time to cover questions. Um, Without question, I'm going to hand over to Godwin to close up the class. Godwin.
Um, Hi, guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Thank you so much. That was really impressive. And I want to also commend all our participants. The winners, that was really a good graphic design display. In fact, I was really impressed. And I want to also, share a word of motivation to other participants. It doesn't mean because we are rewarding people today, you cannot get your reward tomorrow as well. So just keep putting in your best as much as you keep delivering the assignments that our facilitator is giving us. We're always going to reward, those that stand out just to sort of motivate them to, keep the fire burning. Please do follow us on all social media platforms, Adara Foundation on Instagram, LinkedIn, uh, X, TikTok. And also, if you are new on this, if you just joined the training for the first time, there's a WhatsApp group. I advise every one of you to join that WhatsApp group so that you can get information. You can also get updated on the courses or the sessions we're going to be having next. And there's also going to be a recap of all the training sessions. So in case maybe you had network issues and then you're not able to follow through, do not worry. You can always go back to our YouTube page to watch the recap of the training session. And we're going to meet tomorrow here, same time. The room opens 4:15 and the training starts officially 4:30. So till we meet every one of you tomorrow again, that's goodbye from us. Thank you for joining today. See you tomorrow.